Hello everyone and welcome back to For the Minions episode 30. We got quite the episode lined up for you guys this week. Of course, we have our news and updates as always, but followed by that, we're going to do a new highlight reel section. I've got 3 highlights for you guys. One of them is from the Legacy map, which I wasn't expecting, and that's pretty cool. And then after that, we got the poll results. We're doing the tournament, the most impactful ultimate tournament. And then after that, we have Tech Time, not with Ruba, just myself. Best way to view some unreleased skins. Then after that, we're going to do the name game with Dara again. If you guys never saw that, we can bring Mandy's sister Dara in, who has never played Paragon or any games really, and see if she can match up hero names and abilities with their portrait. Then our top 4 discussion is the effects of a united community, everybody pulling together for these games. We're going kind of wondering if there's going to be less toxicity because of that. But I am your host, the one and only Goose. Joining me, as always, is my lovely co-host, MandiMal. Mandy, how you doing?
I'm doing so great. We've brought back another wonderful blast from the past guest. We have Sockcap with us again.
What up? What up? Good.
Good
Sockcap hosted For the Minions number 9, I believe it was. So it was quite a while ago.
Wow.
That makes me feel old, man. Come on.
But yeah, after that, Sokka's become one of my best friends on here. Talk about Paragon with. We've had some good times. Played a little Paragon demo together. It's good times all around. How you been, Sock?
I've been good, man. I've been good. You know what I meant to do? I meant to wear your shirt.
Oh, I love Fat Huggers.
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. So I haven't found too many opportunities to wear that because I'm not going to wear that shit out in public. So
no PTA meetings or anything like that.
No.
That's awesome.
Maybe I should do that. Maybe I should. Next year when school starts, when it's Meet the Teacher Day, I'll go there with that and like a NASCAR hat or something, and be like, "How y'all doing?"
That's perfect.
With a flask of whiskey.
Yeah.
All right, let's move into the news and updates. Let's start off as always with MetaBuff. They had mentioned after the video that they released with Sparrow replacing Revenant in their alpha lineup that they were getting a hold of a Mocap Suit, and they did. And some of us have seen a little bit of that. I can't really show it on the video because it's not really complete or anything. But they do have a Mocap Suit, and that's going to help out not only with creating videos to advertise the game, but just creating assets, animation assets in general. I asked Opolis, I said, true or false, you're going to use that Mocap Suit to put teabag animations on everybody. And he just said, no comment.
Oh, so he didn't deny it then.
He did not deny it.
There you go.
So what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about mainly, I would say advertising, because Paragon really didn't advertise the game much, so I think that's going to be key for a lot of these companies, and it looks like MetaBuff is not going to let that slide. So what do you guys think?
Sock, you want to go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Honestly, I'm just happy for it because it's, anything like that is just, it's going to make the animating steps easier. It's going to be less dependent on somebody actually physically animating something. I mean, obviously they're still going to have to do it, but when they get that suit or whatever, that they can just do the motions themselves and kind of match the animations to that. Or honestly, I don't know much about Unreal. I'm sure it has a function to where you can kind of do the same motion, a few times, and then it will kind of make the animation like that, right? I'm not exactly sure how that works, but for advertising, I think that it's good to have something like that too. Although I do think that at least at first when these games come out, we were talking about this, me and a buddy, Jacko, we were talking about how we think that the advertising should be done, they should kind of invest more into consumer wise in the beginning, because I think that early on these games are going to at least be okay for a while, because they're going to have the back of the community. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So at least for a while they'll be okay, and then figuring out how to branch out from that. If the game, talks the talk and walks the walk, how they have to move forward from that to draw in new people. Because I mean, you're a MOBA, yeah, you're going to be something the other MOBAs don't have. You're going to be a 3D MOBA, that has verticality and all that stuff. But you're going to have to figure out how to pull people from League, from Smite, I imagine most of the people they're going to pull is probably going to be from Smite. I'm sure they'll pull people from League and other MOBAs too, but that is only going to happen if the game is is deep and mechanical as League or those games. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they'll have to do something, and they'll definitely have to. I think they need to try to advertise as much as they can when they get to that point. So
Yeah.
I don't think that they need to necessarily drop a lot of money to advertise on like huge social media, like TV or something like that. I don't know if that's necessarily the good route, but at least have a lot of you guys ever get those mobile game ads?
Mhm.
You need to do it like Mafia Boss, you know what I mean? Just have an ad that doesn't make any sense. People are like, "What is this?" So they have to go look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree. I don't know which I'm more excited about, the possibility of using that mocap for making the animations in game look that much better, or the advertising opportunities. Like, both of those are really exciting. Both of those are, I think, really good steps to kind of set them apart from maybe some of these other competitors, if you will. And it's kind of it's like, wow, that's big deal there to have a mocap suit. That's like, movie level stuff. So it's pretty impressive. So I'm excited to see what they do with it.
It should be helpful. Like Grux is missing quite a few animations. It should be helpful with creating those, because they're going to need to. Because Grux is just very incomplete in the assets.
Yeah.
Right. I'm sure there's a lot more characters that are like that too. Out of the I don't even remember how many is it. 40, 39, something like that.
39, including Boris.
39. Okay. Yeah. So I'm sure there's going to be a lot more that are missing animations.
Yeah, Grux is just the one that stands out the most, I think.
Mm-hmm.
He's missing the most. Moving on from MetaBuff, let's go into Mina Studios. They said last week that they were going to be completing the hero kits, and they did. They have completed the all the hero kits for the 5 heroes that they have for the alpha, and they're going to begin working on the minions, towers, and cards next. And that's good news, because the minions were pretty wonky in the pre-alpha. So, Mandy, what do you think about the minions, towers, and cards? What do you think they could do to improve those?
I agree. The minions definitely had some wonk to them. The cards, I feel like, we didn't really get to do too much with the cards because they were incomplete. So that'll be exciting to have them be maybe more complete this go around. I know like wards weren't working, so maybe wards will work. Ooh, say that 5 times fast. So that's exciting. The towers, I don't really remember there being issues with towers.
I don't think there was.
I think they worked pretty well.
They seemed pretty solid. But any little, like, maybe they're doing some visual tweaks or something like that to them. I'm just excited to get my hands on it again. It's I don't know if it's because it's the only version we've got to play, but Predecessor is definitely a front runner in my personal, like, what I'm hyped for. And maybe that's because it's the one I've gotten my hands on. Even though, and I think I even said to Goose, I may not have like had tons of fun playing Predecessor because of, and I went about it the wrong way too. I was like very, I didn't go in it trying to have fun and like find bugs. I was like, I have to, like, I'm playing with like high level people here. Like, I have to try my best, even though it was an alpha. I was not in the right mindset. So I'm excited to get my hands on it and play around with it some more and, have more fun this time than I did last time and not be so like nervous about like, not performing well.
Right.
And I want to try more of the heroes out because I really didn't have an opportunity to try out too many of the heroes. So
yeah, I got a comment on the first video I did for Predecessor where I was just running around like crazy with FTM exploring the jungle and like using the jump pad to go back and forth. Somebody was like, "You're the worst jungler ever."
Yeah.
You're an idiot if you think I was actually trying.
Right. And see, I didn't do that. I went in at like when I played as Muriel, I like wouldn't leave the
carry.
I wouldn't leave the carry. I wouldn't leave the lane. I wouldn't, I was like, no, I can't, I can't go explore. I never even got to use a jump pad because I was like, nope, I've got my role. I have to stick to my role. And everybody else was like, off willy-nilly in the jungle.
Sock you got one of the random keys, didn't you, in one of the random giveaways in the Discord?
Yeah, sort of. I got a random one. It was from somebody else, so
okay.
They got an extra one, so they gifted me the
nice
key. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping that it comes out soon too, because honestly, I just need something to do besides play League, and it was, I think, pretty much. I don't know. I always felt like they had that deadline that they set, and I kind of think that if they didn't have that deadline, that they would not have released it at that point. Seems like that was just the kind of thing to, hit that mark and be like, hey, look, we did what we said, which, I mean, it's fine. The thing is, I think, in my opinion, people kind of expect too much from these things at first. Like, I didn't think that we'd see anything as early as we did. I kind of was thinking like 2020 we might see something that's that's actually worth while. Because as fun as it was to run around and stuff in Predecessor, if they had left that as it was, I don't think that I would have played it for a prolonged period of time, especially because would have gone deaf from the footsteps. Or when I ulted with Muriel, because he just sounded like a fucking jet engine all the time when it glitched out, just running around. But I mean, it was fun, it was fun to get back in there and play, especially on like the map, looked pretty nice in my opinion. So a nice 5v5 map, and hopefully everything is kind of smoother with them when it does come out. I'll be hyped to try it out again.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the 5v5. Like I mentioned before, we played that Paragon demo, and that's fun, and that's a great accomplishment from what's his name, Dan?
Yeah, Danimals.
Yeah, that's a great accomplishment from him. But it's like a strip club, man. It's like it's just a teaser that makes me horny for something that I can't actually put my hands on.
He just released Muriel and Countess in that, so we were playing that the other day, actually. Yeah. And you're right. I mean, you play it and it's fun. It's better if you have like 5v5, but it's pretty hard to get 10 people playing at the same time. But 1v1, those games can take like up to like an hour, and you're just like, if you're losing, it's not balanced at all. It's not, the minion, the AI is still, you have a minion that chases you through like 2 fucking towers because it just really wants your ass, So, and I'm gonna say this right now, when Predecessor comes out, I just want to get that 1v1 against Nabori. So.
You calling him out?
Yeah, I didn't get a chance. I didn't get a chance to last time. He was on my team one game, and that was it. So
yeah, I played a game with him as well. I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, Namori, if you're watching when it comes out, hit me up, man. Come on. It's content.
The gauntlet has been thrown. So, let's move on from Mina Studios to Undine Games with Ethereal. They actually gave me a lot of stuff, but it wasn't for the minions. It's a lot of exclusive material that I'm going to be doing a solo video on, so you guys can look forward to that. Hopefully this week or maybe next week. I'll have to see what I can put together. But just Ethereal in general. What's your thoughts and opinions on that, Mocap?
I mean, I don't know as much about it as you do. Obviously, I've talked to people about how it could work and how we think it's going to work, because it's wildly different from anything else. So like, I remember somebody was talking to one of the devs a while back ago, and they were talking about like the junglers that have wings and stuff like that. And they're like, how does that work? Because at least in my mind, I don't know how to balance that unless you make that like only for traveling. You can't like fight when you're flying around, because if you're a ranged character or whatever, if you can just fly around and shoot at somebody and they're melee and they're just watching you the whole time in the air, it's got to be pretty rough. But I'm excited to try it. I think that they'll have quite a lot to kind of work out and stuff like that. And I think that it has the potential, because it's so different, to actually kind of set itself apart from the others and gain a following and stuff like that. So and I like the idea of 6v6, because you can have, you can run different comps, like 2 junglers, or you could do like 2 ADCs and 2 supports or something like that, and still have a jungler. So that's kind of interesting to me.
Yeah, it should make for some interesting games.
Definitely. That's going to make for a lot of ingenious and what's the word I'm looking for? Where people just kind of are going to, can only imagine. Yeah, creative gameplay. I can't even imagine what people are going to come up with, because there was already some creative gameplay in Paragon with the options we had there. So.
Yeah, like phase Narbash combo. Like, who thought of that?
Yeah, right?
That was awful.
Yeah, it was. It was terrible. Like just an unkillable duo, but.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be crazy.
Then we had nothing for Phoenix Rising this week. But if you guys are interested in learning anything about any of these games, I'll have their Discords, YouTube channels, and all that good stuff linked in the video description below, so you can do your own research. But now we're going to head into a new segment of the show. We got a highlight reel. I asked last week for some highlights, so let's go ahead and take a look at that. This first clip is from Richter main, flanking this rampage with his Yin, pulls him in with a nice grab, silences out the leap, and then catches him with the ultimate as he comes back down, finishes him off. The Yin gets the kill. Good job all around, but they're not done yet. We're going to clear out some minions, head on up this lane. Just missed that hook on the Kallari. Kallari's a bit of a hard target to hit, slender frame, but he lures the Kallari out and bam, nails a sweet hook, pulls her out from under the tower, finishes her off. Great job. Like I was saying, like your Countesses, Kallari, Shimbis, they're hard to hit with that damn hook. Going to take us a little trip down memory lane with a clip from Thu Umak playing some Twin Blast on the Legacy map. I was not expecting Legacy clips, but I'm glad that we got some. The opposing team is trying to take down the Orb Prime. He's waiting in the Shadow Well, pops in. He's going to toss that grenade in, just perfect. Bam! Steals the Orb Prime away from the enemy team. They gotta be pissed. That's the beautiful thing about Paragon. Like, at that moment, 4 very different people from 4 very different places all came together as one to say, what the fuck just happened? This final clip was submitted by my boy Marco. However, it's DKT Gaming that is playing right here. Let's just sit back and watch.
Oh, I'm dead.
Now, the thing I enjoyed most about this clip was the roller coaster of emotions that DKT went through. He went from, oh, fuck, I'm dead, to, holy shit! Good stuff all around. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed the highlights there. If you have any highlights, if you have any old recordings or clips or anything like that, you can send them in to me on Discord, and I'll see if I can work them in. Sockap sent me some a little late, but some pretty sweet Richter pulls in the highlights that he sent me. So we'll probably take a look at those next week. But for now, let's get into the poll results. For the poll, I've been doing the most impactful ultimate, and this week it was FTM, Gadget, Gideon, Greystone, and Grim squaring off, and Gideon won by a huge margin. FTM had 6%, Gadget 11, Gideon 62, Greystone 14, Grim 7. I think this one really came down to Gadget, Gideon, and Greystone as far as the most impactful ultimate. And no surprise that Gideon won. He won the most popular hero overall competition. But next week he's going to be squaring off against the next part of the bracket. He'll be squaring off against Aurora, and I don't know who's going to win that one. I don't know whose ultimate was a more impactful ultimate, Gideon's or Aurora's. I personally think Aurora. Actually, if I had to vote on this one, if I was able to vote, I would have voted for Gadget personally. But that's just me, because Gadget could actually lay the Tesla Dome down and then do other things, whereas Gideon was kind of stuck in one spot for Black Hole, and you could just pop him out of the air.
That's a good point.
When they added the stun is when his ultimate got really over the top.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was an oopsie by Epic there, I think.
That was one of many oopsies.
And you kind of saw how impactful Greystone's ultimate could be in the clip that I had from DKT, where he had everybody slowed down from his ultimate, and everybody was focused on trying to kill him off on Greystone, and then Grux came in from behind and pretty much just fucked the entire team. But so Greystone's ultimate could also be very impactful.
Yeah, I had a hard time deciding between Gideon and Greystone, and after I voted for Gideon and I saw what a landslide he was winning by, I almost wished, which I think you can change your vote. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I almost went with Greystone, but that was my first initial reaction was Gideon, just because I saw a lot of people get fucked up by that black hole. So it was like, that was my choice.
Okay, so moving over the poll results, we have Tech Time this week without Ruba. I did it by myself. However, I got a really sweet message from Ruba. It said, he said, because, I've been trying to stay away from pulling Ruba in for Tech Time because he is hard at work on Predecessor. But he sent me a message, said that he'll always have time for the minions if I want to finish up the Yin thing. So I'll definitely be getting in contact with him. And that hit me right in the heart.
Oh, but, we love Ruba.
For this week, it's going to be my own Tech Time. We're going to go over how you can best view the skins. Well, what I think is the best way to view some of the skins that maybe you didn't get to see that were unreleased in Paragon. So let's go ahead and take a look at Tech Time. So I find the best way to view the skins is in a first-person project in Unreal. So open up the Unreal Engine if you don't have it. Just go ahead and download it. It's free. No worries. Go to New Project. And we're going to search around. We're going to find a first-person project to do. I use a first-person project because it allows me to kind of run around and get a really good look at the skins. And you can just shoot little Nerf balls at the characters if you really want to. So we got our first-person project. Pick desktop, whatever the hell. We need to give it a name. We're going to call it Skin Viewer. And I screwed up and put a space in there. You cannot have a space, so we just need to delete that space out. And then we have our first-person project. Now once we're in here to the first-person project, we can just go ahead and click on this stuff and then just press the delete button to get rid of that. Don't want anything getting in the way of our skins. Now we need a hero to load in here. We're going to choose Countess because a lot of people were kind of intrigued by that Shogun Countess skin. So I'm going to show that off. So we'll go to Library. Make sure you're under the Unreal Engine tab under Epic Games. Go to Marketplace. And then just type in Countess in the search bar. Or whatever Paragon hero you want to look at, really. Now their Countess, I already have her. They're all free, so you don't have to pay for them. You just add them to your cart and check out, and you have them. So we'll go into the library where this is where they'll go after you, quote unquote, buy them. And we're going to add her to the skin viewer project that we just made. Okay, now that we're in here, we can just grab the Countess animation blueprint. That's her base skin, and drag it, drop it right in, and go ahead and save your content, because this is going to crash often. At least it does for me. So now if we go down into these tabs down here, we can select on skins. We have our tier 1, tier 2 skins. Let's pick up her red skin. Oh, I just hit the meshes instead of the skins. Or the materials, I mean. So I need the mesh. So let's grab the mesh, grab it, drag it, drop it in. Easy as pie. And we'll just continue doing that with the rest of the skins. Now we can just hit the play button and we can actually go in here as if it's a first person game and take a look at the skins as much as we want and shoot little balls at them. So that's a pretty cool, pretty easy way to look at the skins. But of course, you know, looking at them just standing here is, you know, it's cool. You can get, you know, a lot of good details and they look cool and everything, but it's better when they're moving. So let's go ahead and animate these. So we're going to stop the project. So we just click on Countess. I need to drag this over so I can see the details page. What we're going to do is, instead of using animation blueprint, we're going to use animation asset, and we're going to assign an animation to each one of these. So this is a way that you can also look at a lot of the animations too. Let's give her that 70s dance. Let's just go through, give all of these different animations, and then check them out. Okay, let's go ahead and hit play, and now they've all got animations that they're playing, so that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and maximize this window as much as we can, get a better look at them, and cruise around through here. Got our base skin here. This is I think this was the Halloween skin, I think it was. Then here's the Shogun skin, and this is like the Master Seductive emote, which I don't remember. Of course, I didn't play a whole hell of a lot of Countess, but it looks pretty badass. Like she kind of lures you in with that little look, and then she whips out the swords. Pretty cool shit. So as you can see, it's very simple if you want to see if any of your favorite heroes had skins that you never saw, or if you just want to go back in, revisit some of the skins and revisit some of the animations and taunts and such. Very easy to do, simple thing. So I hope you guys learned a little bit of something on Tech Time. Again, sorry I can't, I kind of don't want to get Ruba in here. I want to let him focus on Predecessor, but I hope you enjoyed Tech Time with the Man Goose. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed Tech Time. I hope you learned a little bit. But for now, we're going to get into something a little more fun. We're going to play the name game with Dara. Like I mentioned before, Dara has never played Paragon, doesn't play games at all. So it's kind of fun to just see if she can match up the names with the heroes. And she always does a little better than we think she's going to do. So let's check that out now. Alright, so Dara is going to be just like the last time we did this. Almost just like the last time we did this. I threw a little wrench in the plans this time. But you got 3 Paragon heroes, and then you've got 3 names on the side, 3 abilities. Well, actually, you have 4 names and 4 abilities. One of the names and one of the abilities is completely does have anything to do with Paragon. So I'm giving you even less of a chance to succeed this time. So go ahead and like you did last time, talk us through your thought process and try to match up the names and the abilities with the portrait there.
Hi, welcome to another installment of Illiteracy with Dara, because she can't read none of the words. Knock Knock, definitely a hero. That's my favorite character of all the Paragon games. Knock Knock.
All the Paragon games.
All the Paragon games. All of them. Paragon 1, 2, 75, all of them. Okay. So, Okay. Obliterate, I think, is probably fake too. Okay. Are all of these fake?
Nope.
Okay, Muriel. I once ate at a restaurant called the Muriel Room. Actually, it was Mural Room, but we called it Muriel.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that was boring. So let's see. Muriel. She doesn't look like a Muriel, but maybe she's Serenity. Muriel. But she doesn't look. She kind of looks serene. Let's give her a Serenity.
Okay.
Right, and Wraith. Ooh. Revenant, because I love Winona Earp. He kind of looks like a Revenant from the show.
I've never heard of that show.
I'm not talking to you now.
We'll discuss it after the game.
Let's see. Is Zekia, Wraith, or Knock Knock? Oh, I don't know. The top one doesn't look like a Wraith. He doesn't look like a Muriel. I'm gonna say it's Ezekia or whatever.
Isekai?
Yeah, that is Isekai, sure. Him too. And oh Lord. Obliterate. I'd say Ezekia can obliterate you. Serenity. Oh crap. Wait. Revenant, Wraith. Maybe he wraiths you. I don't even know if you can wraith somebody, but why not? Deluge. I'm gonna say just because. No, you know what? I'll bet Muriel has a Serenity power. Maybe that's it. And then, okay, I'm done.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, you had me nervous there because you moved Muriel to the correct position at first, and then you changed it out with Serenity. You were absolutely correct. That is Muriel, and she does have an ability named Serenity. You also got Revenant correct. That is the correct name for this hero right here. However, he is the one that obliterates.
Oh, that makes much more sense.
Isekai is a Japanese anime word for somebody who gets transported into another dimension. He does not. You're right. He does not look like a Wraith, but that is Wraith, and his ability is Knock Knock. So once again, you went 50%, which is even better now that I put in like random false ones. So yeah, you got Muriel, Serenity, and Revenant right. So again, you went 50%. You're holding strong, even though I'm making it harder.
Wait, Knock Knock is really his ability?
Yes, I did an entire video about how stupid his ability names were.
This is a joke, right?
No, his abilities were named Knock Knock, Who's There, Surprise Surprise. What was the other one? He had Knock Knock, Who's There? Oh, Bring It Back.
Oh, yeah. Back that up. Was that also one of his abilities?
Yeah, back that ass up. Only worked on Narbash. So yeah, great job, 50%. This is so much fun. I love doing this. Will you be able to do it again, Tara? Like I don't know, next week, maybe a week after next, whatever. You know, we'll bring you in because this is great. This is absolutely fun.
I think it's fun too, but I can laugh at myself.
All right, and that was the name game with Dara. Now we're going to move into the topic for discussion, and this is something that Mandy brought up just in passing. She was talking about toxicity, and I kind of agree with her here with the community being far more unified now after the loss of Paragon. I think at first, at least, the toxicity is going to be very low as compared to what it used to be. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about, sort of the effects of this weird situation we're in where Paragon was canceled, our favorite game, and now it's being brought back by various studios. So that's the topic. Mandy, what did you do you have anything to say since you You brought this up originally?
Yeah, I was actually watching a friend of mine stream, and he was streaming Smite, and there happened to be a very toxic person, and he was talking about the toxicity that he's experienced in Smite, and it got me to thinking that the only time, and this is probably because I don't play a lot of multiplayer games, I play more like single-player narrative-driven games, I only ever experienced toxicity in MOBAs and battle royales. So that was kind of interesting that it was like, I wonder if now that everybody is, because there was definitely toxicity in Paragon. Now that we've all kind of come together and we're rooting for all of these to succeed, or at least one of these to succeed, will the community, like you mentioned at first, that's definitely a little asterisk because it's not going to last. Will we be more likely to be encouraging of one another and understanding of one another and just excited that we have our favorite game back, versus being toxic to one another? So I thought that was an interesting thing that maybe we could discuss and see what you guys think. Am I living in a dreamland? Is it never going to happen?
I mean, I think that it probably will be for a while. I don't know how long that will last too. But also I've played League pretty much. That's what I streamed since Paragon died, and so my experience is a little bit skewed. Because I used to think that Paragon was kind of toxic, and then I went and played League, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Like every game in my placements, there was somebody that was like, kill yourself, and I was like, oh, okay, wow, this is how it is over here. So I think now I have maybe a little bit of a different perspective on what's toxic and what's not. So, but I think that you're right. I think that at least for a while, people will be, pretty elated, pretty happy that it's back, and they won't really be worrying too much about what happens. And in the game itself, whether they're losing or winning or all that stuff, I think that probably when we'll see a recurrence of toxicity is when any one of these games implements a rank system, because that just comes with toxicity. So
that's exactly what I was going to say next, is that I think the ranked system will probably bring with it more competitiveness, therefore probably more heated emotions, and that usually brings out some toxicity. But that's an excellent point. I think go ahead.
I just always felt Paragon was probably the least toxic multiplayer game I've ever played. I mean, I definitely did experience some toxicity in Paragon, but as far as that goes, it wasn't that much. And especially in Legacy was just like a fucking fairy tale land of everybody helping each other out. And like you could suggest to somebody like, hey, why don't you do this instead? And they'd be like, you know what, that's a good idea. I think I'll try that. Instead of like, oh, fuck you, I know how to play, But that definitely came around eventually. But yeah, when Paragon first released, there was very, very little toxicity. The toxicity seemed to really come in with the switch over to Monolith when they got a fuckload more players. And a lot of those players came from a first-person shooter background, because they were kind of catering more towards the first-person, third-person shooter community, which I find to be extremely toxic. So we got a lot of toxic people in then. Yeah,
and I was kind of thinking, if one of these games, say they really take off and they're just better than the rest or whatever, and they become the front runner in the main game that everybody's playing, and they do, draw in people outside of the original Paragon community, will that bring in extra toxicity because they haven't gone through what we've gone through together as this bonding experience, I
think once they pull people from like League, or if they pull people from Dota, even Smite, I'm sure that's probably going to happen a little bit. It will be there though. As soon as they add Chimera, that's going to happen. That's like the stereotypical Chimera Main building like full damage and jumping into 5 people, just eating it, and then as soon as he gets blown up, like instantly, like as he lands from his jump, he dies, and he's like, "Where the fuck is my team? You know, you guys are brain dead.
Fuck is my team?"
And you're like, dude, you have no HP, no armor. What do you expect is going to happen when you jump into 5 of them?
It's so hard to argue with that. That is so true.
Why didn't you chase this guy into their jungle with me?
Yeah, right. Oh man.
I like to use reverse toxicity just to throw people off, like if they'll like, you know, be bitching at me or something. I'm like, "Oh yeah, well I think you're a great player, and in fact I might even bake you a cake afterwards. How about that shit, motherfucker?" I'll say it like that. So it's just very confusing for them.
Yeah, because how do you even respond to that?
Nobody knows. Nobody
asshole.
knows.
Like, what do you do?
You gotta be aggressive about it. You gotta be aggressively nice.
Aggressively nice. Oh man.
I'm hoping that just, you know, like we talked about with everybody going through this all together and everybody missing Paragon, that, you know, at least we'll have a small window of a golden era where everybody's just kind to each other.
Yeah.
And stuff.
Hold my hand. Let's sing Kumbaya.
Kumbaya.
It could go the other way though, because these games are going to be different than Paragon, and everybody's going to be trying to apply what they know about Paragon to the game, and then they'll probably be, it won't work as well, and then other people will know that it won't work as well, so then you might get a little bit of toxicity there.
Right.
It just depends.
I mean, I think too that it also depends on the level of you know, well, I guess how good the game actually is, because you know, if the game comes out and it's just like a unresponsive, it's not polished or anything, you know, not as many people are going to take it serious, you know. If it comes out and it's playing like Paragon played, it's smooth, the combat's good and all that stuff, and there's depth to it, then at that point people are going to get more serious about it. And anytime somebody becomes more serious about it, just like with ranked, you're going to have more people getting upset when something bad happens in the game.
Definitely.
So
yeah, I know with Predecessor, the way it was when in the alpha when it was released, I would get a little bit angry whenever, like, because you would get caught on people a lot. It was like the it was like there wasn't a circle, like, you know, circles kind of, you know, hit and bounce off each other. It's like, it seemed like everybody's character model was square, and it would just get stuck on each other. And, I'd be like, "Oh my god, get the fuck off me!" Like, I'm trying to move. It was so difficult. That was kind of the that was how you killed people in Predecessor, was just body blocking them into minions. And then the minions finish the job.
Yeah, there's nothing that tilts you more than like your own team, in my opinion. Like, I remember what was that card? The group stasis one that they had at the end.
Oh god, yeah. What was that called? I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah, it's the one that just put everybody in stasis, your teammates and the enemies. Yeah. So there's a team fight where like I ulted with Gideon and I hit like 4 of them, and then some dude on my team just like stasis, which of course knocks you out of your ult as Gideon. And so like my ult went off for like 2 seconds or for like a second. I was like, I got everybody, we're gonna win this team fight. And then he just stasis, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck? I immediately just start typing, you know, "You piece of shit," blah 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 blah, you know. And I'm like, you just threw that whole team fight, you know, how could you? Dude's like, my bad, you know.
My bad.
Did he
dude.
threaten to make you a cake?
Yeah. Great player.
Wraith, I think, caused more toxicity than any other hero in Paragon, because Bring It Back would save people a lot of times, which would piss you off. And then also, he would just steal your kills all the goddamn time with Knock Knock. Like, you'd work so hard, and then a Wraith would just bam! and it's like, god damn it, dude.
I can't remember who it was, I can't remember who was playing Wraith, but we had to go against it was either Splinter or Phasma playing Richter, and then whoever they were duo with, I don't know if it was Strafe or I don't think it was NATO Sick, but it was some ADC that was, you know, high level. And that Wraith Richter combo is just, as soon as you get rewound, the Richter knows how to time their hook. So they're just going to hit you out of the rewind, and you cannot miss it. If you time it right, it's unavoidable. You're just going to get hit by it. So playing against that was like, I remember the first time we played against that, I was like, oh my God, this is just so dumb. Like you can't run from them, because if you run from them, then you just get rewound. So both of you in the duo lane are like running, and it's like, which one is he going to pick? When I was ADC main, so obviously it's going to be me. So I'm like, fuck, I'm dead. Just keep running.
That sucks. That's horrible.
It was frustrating. We started doing it too, and it was a lot of fun. But
I think, that's probably the best way that a studio can avoid toxicity within their community is to balance the game well.
Right.
That's probably the best way, because that's the main thing that really kind of creates toxicity, is when you have an unbalanced comp and somebody else is running it and you're not,
Mm-hmm.
It just makes it less enjoyable. I remember when FaZe and Revenant had first come out, and they came out one after the other. I can't remember if FaZe came out first. I think it was Revenant, but I can't.
think it was Red first.
But they were both just so much better than the other choices. It was like, if you didn't pick those two in the duo lane, then it was almost like an auto loss in IUO, and it was just so fucking frustrating.
Then there was when Seraph was able to do like over 1,000 DPS, that's damage per second she could do, and it came down to which team had the better Seraph. That's who won the game. That created a bit of a toxic environment there for a while.
Yeah.
All right, that's about all I have to say on the topic. You guys good?
Yeah.
Good.
All right, let's move on to plugs. Sockap. I know you got the Twitch. You got anything else you want to plug, or you want plug your Twitch channel a bit here?
Yeah. Can I plug 2 things?
You can plug as much stuff as you want, except my butthole.
I was actually about to ask that. Holy moly!
I know you.
Because I just got one in the mail. No, I'm just kidding. Wanted to try it out. My channel obviously is twitch.tv/sockcap. Also, twitch.tv/thejacka. I'll put his stream in there. He's somebody that I've gotten to know pretty well over the last few months. Good guy. So he streams every once in a while, not often, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, like Jacka.
Aww. Very nice.
You watching, Jacka? You hear that? Mongoose likes you.
Yeah.
Jacka knows that I like it.
Jacka needs to. I'm telling Jacka. I told Jacka, I said, you need to come on this show, man.
He's more than welcome anytime.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Mandy, you got anything to plug?
I am a terrible YouTuber, and I let everybody down, and I didn't have the video up that I said I was gonna have up. So I'm never doing that again. I'm never setting a goal for myself like that. Just streaming my little butt off on Twitch. It's so much fun. The people that come hang out are incredible. So if you'd like to come hang out with some incredible people, it's a lot more talking than it is gaming. So and the gaming is fairly mediocre. So come on in and enjoy. That was a terrible plug. Everybody's like,
you do a great job of interacting with your community. I'll tell you that.
Oh, thank you.
You seem to make everybody feel good about themselves whenever they come in. So that's a good quality for a streamer to have, I think.
Aw, shucks. Thanks. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Right on. For myself, I guess the ethereal video that I'll have coming out pretty soon, and then I've been streaming a little bit, but just nothing serious. And I think that's it. That's going to be the end of the show. Thanks everybody for coming out. If you're watching the premiere, I'll see you guys around. Thank you for coming out. Thanks for interacting with us somewhat live. But that's going to be it for the Minions crew. We're signing off. You guys have a good one.
Take care.
Man, Goose.